Hello. So I wanted to come on and kind of just touch base with some stuff for the beginning of the year. And I keep hearing all the time about stylists feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, and just constantly trying to do too much, I think. And so I want to kind of talk about some of my favorite things that have helped me and that I continue to grow and evolve with just to stay, number one, organized, two, keep my sanity, and three, boundaries. If you guys know me, boundaries are something that I'm very passionate about and kind of have been the past couple years. I feel like I finally just got to a point and understand what I need, what I didn't need, all of that. So, that being said, number one boundary that I think is super important is having some set work hours. Does that mean, so it's like, not saying like a 9 to 5, but essentially like 9 to 5, like how many days a week are you working? What day, how many hours a day are you working? Like typically what time do you start? What time do you finish? The reason for this is I have found that yes, you're going to work outside of your hours sometimes, right? But try to limit that as much as possible. Before, if you're just booking just to book, right? And you never say no, you're going to be working, taking clients for, I don't know, up to 10 to 12 hours, sometimes even more than that some days. I used to be this person. I never would say no. I just saw like, yes, money signs, but for me, it was more about like, I felt like I was letting someone down if sorry, my dog's walking around. I feel like I was letting someone down if I told them no that I couldn't work out with their schedule, even if they were the ones that waited till the last minute to book or move something around, right? I always just felt obligated, like it was my duty to fix their problem, right? So a couple years ago, I switched to set working hours, and this was huge for me. It was really hard to do, but I decided to only be in my studio Tuesday through Fridays, and like Tuesdays is my late day since I don't work weekends, so I usually do like 12 to 8. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it was more like a 9 to 4 or 10 to 5 kind of a situation. And then I didn't work weekends. And this was really helpful for me because number one, it held me accountable to like have a clear boundary of when I ended my day, because it got old. I would be going home, at 8:30, 9 o'clock every night, eating dinner and going to bed. And I started to gain weight. I was really tired. It was not fair to my husband for him to always have to cook. I didn't want to clean up my kitchen after the cooking was done. I would just go to bed. And that's not healthy. Like, you need time to unwind and actually enjoy being at home. You shouldn't just work all the time. And so I got to where I had set boundaries, and it was really helpful for me. And one of the things that I think is super helpful for this is a booking system. There's several out there on the market. I've tried several over the years, and my personal favorite is Gloss Genius. I've used Gloss Genius for years, and I really like them. They make online booking super, super easy, and just having a set schedule, all of that stuff. So number one, if you don't have an online booking system, do it. Most of us use some type of electronic booking system anyways, but actually opening up online booking also helps not having to constantly like have so many points of contact and taking so long to book appointments. This is like my next point. But to finish up on the first point, it's just, does that mean that having the set working hours, does that mean that I'll never work outside of those hours? No, I'm going to work outside of them sometimes. There are certain guests that you're going to make accommodations for. There's situations where maybe I'm sick and I have to reschedule and come in on a day off. Maybe I'm running behind and have to stay later, whatever the case is. But try to limit working outside of your hours less than 10%. If you can keep it, I would say under 10% outside of your hours, you're going to have more of a set schedule that trains your guests when you're available, right? So just definitely something to consider. Have some set hours and stick to them. You have a physical barrier in front of your face on an online booking system that tells you what your hours are. That's helpful. Number two is online booking. These kind of go hand in hand. With online booking, you have set hours. Your guests can only see what's available within those hours. So you get to, people are like, well, my guests don't know what to book. I don't know if they're going to have enough time. Those are all valid points, but that's why it's a learning process. Number one, you should know roughly how long it takes you to do that service. Yes, there are guests that have really thick, really long hair. It might take extra time, right? Um, and also, so yeah, you might need more time for them, but also you have to keep in mind descriptions. All these booking systems, you can do before and after pictures of what this service would be, an example of this service would be. It could also, you could go in and that's what I have, is just a clear description of what this is, what it entails. And I always say in all my policies and stuff, if someone is not sure what to book, send me pictures of their hair directly and I will help them navigate what to book. I'll tell them what to book. I can even do it on my end and send them the kind of invoice booking deposit form. You can also do jot forms where someone, if they want to make an appointment with you, they can go in and fill out jot forms. They can upload pictures of their hair, goal inspiration pictures. They can also do a questionnaire of last color, what they want, all this stuff, so that way you can tell them what to book. There's just simple ways, instead of texting someone or emailing someone or message them on Instagram back and forth 15, 20 times before you ever establish an appointment date. And majority of my clients love that they can go in, click what they want, and see what I have available based off of that service, because I've already allotted that time. And people know, I ask them on my booking form, if you have extra hair, if you're unsure what to book, they can leave a comment that says, hey, I think this is what I need to book. And if you're ever unsure, I just reach out to that guest immediately and I'm like, hey, I just wanted to double check what you're booked for. You also can just require that all new guests come in for a consultation. If they have to come in for a consultation, that's a set amount of time. That's usually under 30 minutes before you can book a color service. And that you can charge a fee for a consultation and put it towards the color service. So there's another option. So online booking helps save so much just back and forth time. They can see your schedule and it makes it easy. My third thing that I really just has helped me tremendously is having non-communication hours. So boundaries on that. So for example, I will not respond to a business request on a Saturday or a Sunday. I refuse. And I used to always just be available 24/7. I would stay up messaging people till 1 o'clock in the morning. If I used to have a lot of night nurses, they would message me at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because they're on shift. And if I would hear it, and I would start responding back. And there's something for me, this might not be for everyone, there's something for me that when I see that message even pop up, I immediately go into work mode. And then I'm just pissed off, honestly, because even though I love my job, I still need a break from it. It's still important for me to have family time and, just to turn it off sometimes. That's totally okay. And I'm a big advocate of, you allow people to treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. So if you're always available all the time, they're going to get used to that behavior. And then the second that you aren't available for them, then they're mad at you. And you're like, I don't understand. Why are they mad at me? It's because you kind of help train them to that. Now, yes, there's some guests that you have to remind them hey, I'm not available, and for them, it's because especially if you don't work for a salon or have a receptionist and people can contact you directly, most of the time those places are closed on the weekends and they can't get in contact with that person anyways. Because you have more of a one-on-one personal experience, they think that you're just available all the time. And that's not the case. And so we have to train them not to do that. And I'm sorry, there's no hair emergency that you need a response from me immediately. It's just for booking a service, color service, whatever. If it's that bad, you need to be in the emergency room. Things can happen, but also I have a family and I have a life outside of my job. So for me, from Monday through Friday, I will respond to messages. I will not respond before 8 a.m. and I stop responding typically after 8:30, 9 o'clock hard. And most of the time I like to stop responding before that, but sometimes if it's a late day and I just got out of work, that's the one time I have to respond before I turn it off for the day. And then Saturday, Sunday, I'm not available. And that has been so helpful. And I got a Google Voice when I just moved to Alabama for my business, and I stopped giving my guests my personal cell phone number. So that way I open the app when I need to respond to these messages. There's tons of apps out there, and I'm always looking for, you know, better options and stuff. So if you guys have any that, let me know. I didn't want to personally carry around a whole nother cell phone that had my social media business stuff tied to it. I just wasn't worth it for me. But I did do Google Voice, and I really like it. That way, like, I can just put do not disturb on the app. I can take the app off my home screen. I don't even have to see that I have notifications. And so I thought that was really helpful. And that way, like, if I want to go on vacation or something, it's a little bit easier for me not to respond and just not go onto my business social media accounts. I try really hard to keep my business life and my personal life separate. Now, they are going to intertwine. I mean, I do family and friends hair, all that stuff. And your places, you know, social events, people find out you do hair, they want to ask you questions, right? I usually don't mind that. But I don't want clients messaging me on my personal stuff. And I don't want, you know, them messaging me on my personal cell phone all the time, just because you can never turn it off. And so these are just, I've been in the industry for almost 15 years. And these are just some of my favorite boundaries and things that have helped. I know this was a little long, but hopefully this helps someone. And if you have any other apps or anything like that that you love to use, I would love if you would drop it below or send me a message with it. That would be awesome. Thanks, guys.